Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. It is Green Nurse Carrie Lee and Green Nurse Sherry time. So we like to start our show off with a little moment of silence from our handy dandy little video stream. And here we go. We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And you know, the more research I did, the more I discovered the cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses Group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. I just want to say, I love the last thing that Mark says, because it's really true. Zip code should not determine what medication one gets. That's just.
No, I know. I love it. It's really, really, I just thank you, Amadeus. Amadeus is a filmmaker, and he captured that essence of hope, of inspiration, of growth and healing as we're working with multiple different populations, not only working with patients, but working with other professionals in the cannabis industry, how we're really coming together as a community with that unity consciousness, right? Come under the umbrella, come under the Green Nurse umbrella. We're all coming together, right?
Yes.
We want the plant to shower its love upon us. And we're here, like I said, coming together. And so that film really demonstrates, in my heart and soul, like what we're here to do, what we're here to do on this earth. And healing isn't the absence of illness or disease. Healing is doing the best you can with what you have right here, right now. And that is why we're here this morning. We're here to bring you some hope, a little bit of Green Nurse love. And I'm so excited that I have multiple nurses now co-hosting with me, and Carrie Lee is going to be a regular for sure. She's here today, and she's going to be with me all next week. She's putting together she's actually producing all of the podcasts next week. And I just want to say, God bless you. It's going to be a blast. Seriously.
Oh my God. I love you so much. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up for the ride now.
Buckle up. So this is what's really, really exciting as we expand the Green Nurse and Holistic Caring Network. We're all coming together. We're helping one another. We're helping each other grow. And we're helping each other to grow both personally and professionally. So this is what's really nice about having this podcast and a group of amazing nurses is everyone is so brilliant and comes from such a different, rich background, and how we've evolved in the cannabis space as nurses. I just think it's great that we're going to be able to have so many different people share. And so, Carrie Lee, for the new viewers that are just joining in, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Eric. Yes. Good morning, Eric. Just introduce yourself to the new viewers and let them know a little bit about Green Nurse Iowa and what you're doing in the space of plant medicines.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Nurse Sherry. Good morning, everybody. I am Carrie Lee Lure. I am a registered nurse here in Iowa. I'm also a registered patient in Iowa's medical program. I actually connect patients to the program, and I teach them how to choose products and also how to use products in an effective manner. So I'm also a mentor with the holistic caring community. So I'm mentoring other nurses, ushering them into the space. I'm a certified ketamine nurse guide for Keta MD. And I also run my own consulting firm called Soul Thrive Health Consulting. So I think the biggest thing I'd like to say about myself is that I am a cannabis stigma fighter, specifically for the mental health community. I'm a mental health patient myself. And I really just want to break the walls down in terms of, mental health patients and cannabis use. It can be done if there's a proper education and really thorough monitoring and guidance. So here we are. Thanks for having me.
Carrie Leaves, you've created it. You've created mental wellness through your daily 5 to Thrive. Boom,
High five, baby.
Right? Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So the daily 5 to Thrive is incorporating 5 essential areas of care to nourish and support your endocannabinoid system. And we talked about one of them yesterday. Soul Thrive, the sun, the light. Go to the light. Everyone
go to the light, baby. Sun goddess right here.
That's it. And and how important the sunshine and light is for our health and wellness and well-being. And we covered vitamin D yesterday. So that was a really great show, Carrie Lee.
Thank you.
Really, really impressed. I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't know some of this stuff. So it's great. So we're going to expand upon all of Carrie Lee's knowledge with seasonal affective disorder or major depressive disorder with a seasonal component next week, and all of the different tools that can go along with managing each of those specific symptoms that present itself with that particular disorder. So that's going to be awesome.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So here we are. I've got my cup of peace. I had a cup of joy earlier.
Cup of peace, cup of joy. I got animal print going, honey.
Making some animals. So we start the day off what? Peace begins with me. Thank you, Green Nurse Denise, for that little meta, right? I am peace, you are peace, we are peace. I am love, you are love, we are love. It's a little woo-woo-ish, but we start off the day with daily love because I'll tell you what, I know every single day when I wake up, I need to remind myself that it's all going to be okay. Right, Carrie Lee?
Absolutely.
So what are we doing this morning, girl? What do we got going on?
Well, this is
going on in Iowa.
This is a part of my every morning ritual. I pull a card from this deck, The Power of Surrender. These are by Dr. Judith Orloff. And so pretty much this is not a tarot deck or an oracle deck. It's pretty much a tool to help reprogram the subconscious mind. So, these negative core beliefs, these negative story loops that keep replaying and telling us what we can't do, what we shouldn't do, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Stop, rewind. This is going to help us to flip the switch and get rid of it. So here we go. Ready?
Yes,
so
what do we surrender
What
to?
are we surrendering to today? Shuffle the deck. Get in the zone.
Get in the zone. Connect to spirit. Drop in. Inhale Ananda. What do I need to hear for my personal and professional growth? What do I need to surrender to?
Okay.
Speak through me. Well, actually, it's not me. It's for everyone. It's for everyone.
So I've got the deck split in 3. What number do you want, love?
3.
Ooh. Okay, here we go. Ready? Surrender to setting limits.
Oh.
It is. Here we go. You ready? Buckle up, everybody. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Wow. Okay, I just got goosies because this is like...
Totally. It's like, who isn't going through issues right now that they have to set boundaries? Okay. Yeah. Relationships is how we evolve, both personally and professionally.
Yeah. Mental,
emotional, spiritual growth, right? That's what happens. And we have to do it through relationships. But then oftentimes too, we have to remember the more relationships we're in, the more different universes we're in, because our relationship with each person is different at each particular time. And it's because we're all in our own little worlds projecting out, right? So you think about that. And so limit setting is really, really about self-love, right? When you're setting limits, when I say, it's not that I'm saying no to you because I don't like you, love you, care about you, or want to help you, but I'm saying no to you because I need to say yes to me first.
Boom. Boom.
Right.
I didn't even know what a boundary was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out because it's scary as hell when you haven't had them set and you've been in unhealthy relationships forever. When you finally start getting involved in healthy, you don't even know what healthy is. And it feels so awkward, but just got to keep pushing through and keep exposing yourself to it and just not give up. I had a good friend tell me that. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, what
was
do
good
boundaries
advice.
look like? So what does it look like? What does a boundary look like?
I think for me, well, when I think about boundaries, I immediately think of the pleasing people tendencies that comes from, past trauma. And so, let's take, for example, work relationships, being able to comfortably say no to taking something on. Because internally you're not going to be able to give your best to that project. Your plate's pretty full or whatnot, but so many of us are, terrified to say no, that we're going to let somebody down. But what happens when you start doing that? When you do start saying no, or when you do just keep saying yes and yes and yes, it builds resentment over time.
Right.
You end up building resentment because you're not taking care of yourself and you feel like other people are not taking care of you as well or whatever, supporting you. But really it's because you didn't set the boundary and enforce it.
It's true. So here it is how we take care of ourselves is how we show other people how we need to be taken care of.
Crazy. I love it. It is.
One,
that's
right?
it. It's huge.
So I can't, I have to show, if I'm in a relationship with someone, I have to show them how I take care of myself. I can't expect them to read my mind or to even do it for me. But the boundaries set based on how I show up and take care of myself, my mind, my body, and my spirit. And it, like we had said before, is if, when I'm saying yes to someone, why am I saying yes? So we always need to, when someone asks you to do something, it always needs to go back to, why am I going to do this? Why would I say yes? Why would I say no? Is it good for me? Is it good for them? Does it fit? So it's really this whole cognitive thing. And oftentimes we say yes and no so instantaneously because we're triggered. Yeah. All the freaking past comes flooding in. Well, guess what? We have the capability of doing things differently. We all do, and cannabis, I got to bring it back to cannabis. Cannabis has opened up my mind to different states of being and consciousness to show up in the world differently, right? Absolutely. In a way that's going to foster my own personal, professional growth and that how I can help others with theirs, and it does. It all begins with me. Peace begins with me. What are you smoking on there, Carrie Lee?
I have a lovely 1-to-1 from MedFarm, Iowa. It is equal parts CBD, THC. This is my medicine. Thank you, plant medicine.
Thank you, plant medicine. And so here's the thing too, is we are decreasing stigma, right? We are decreasing stigma even around inhalation. I've been, and I'll just bring it up, there's the boundary, that boundary issue. I was away with my mom and I showed her the video that Amadeus showed, and she goes, "Oh my God, I don't think I'm ever going to get used to you smoking." And I go, "Mom, what did you smoke the whole?" And I had to say this. Well, what did you smoke all during those years before you heard cigarettes were bad? You were smoking cigarettes, and that was really normal. And I said, "But you're comparing."
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. Not at all.
Not even close. And so it's funny. So what I tried to like break it down with the inhalation. I was like, so, you think about, you have these little vaporizers. Just look at, people have inhalers. Just look at it as another piece of equipment that people are using to get medicine into their lungs that's going to absorb quicker, that's going to bypass. So having that educational component, inhalation's okay. It's completely okay. It's instantaneous. Before I came on, I had my bong out.
Right? I love it. I love it
too, is because what did it do? It helps me to sink into the moment. It helped to dial down all of those blasting neurotransmitters in my head right?
Yeah.
That are causing a physiological response in my body that isn't good for my health. And so it just dampens it down so I can step in, step up, and here I am, right?
Yeah.
Functioning.
Yeah.
So that's great. I love that. One-to-one is really good. And we were talking about that. We were talking about CBD to THC ratios. And why might one like a one-to-one? Like, why is a one-to-one good for you, Carrie Lee?
I mean, for me, first of all, Deborah, hello, good morning. She's asking me to tell her the brand. This is actually called Harmony. It is one of Med Farm, Iowa. This is our one of our medical dispensaries here in Iowa. So that cart is actually part of the medical program that I'm registered with. I like for me, I during the day, okay, I cannot be overly high, shall we say, because it just doesn't work for me. I mean, like straight out, no CBD, like I'm, chilling and whatnot. I save that for nighttime. That's for me. So the one-to-one is fabulous for me during the day because that CBD, quells down the psychoactivity of the THC, but I'm getting the benefits of both of those cannabinoids. The THC is something that helps relax my body. It helps to ease the muscle spasms that I have. And then the CBD is really great for my anxiety, and just both of them together just kind of boop. I'm not a big user of the one-to-one during the spring and the summer because I'm just like, I'm on fire, baby. It's all good, right? But when my seasonal depression starts kicking in and the anxiety starts ramping up, what happens? That anxiety ramps up, the cramping and the muscle spasming happens. It's just all correlated together. So I incorporate that one-to-one as a rescue, the inhalation. It's just a quick, like you said, fastest way to get it into your system is an inhalation. So, you got to switch it up for the seasons. That's how I am. And that's the beautiful part about plant medicine, right? It's not you don't have to stick with the same regimen for 365 days a year. You switch it up as you need it, right?
And it's exactly right. And you should be switching it up as you need it. It's like this is because switching it up as you need it means you're listening to your body. You're paying attention, right? So if you think about what we usually do is you get the prescriptions, you get the pills, and you just take. Plant medicine is integrative. It communicates. It's wise. And when you start to learn about the endocannabinoid system and really start to dig into plant medicine and working with the plant, it becomes intuitive. Okay, so it doesn't require, you become so accustomed to your body and how it works with the plant. Like Carrie Lee, she picked up her pen and she did it because it wasn't a habit. It was intuitive because she knows her body. She's been taking care of her body using plant medicines and all the progressive tools that support and nourish the endocannabinoid system. And your depiction and how you described why you chose the one-to-one is beautiful because during the summer months, she doesn't need as much THC in the daytime because she has all of the outside and a ton of sunlight.
Yes.
And she has those other ways of boosting her endocannabinoid system to get that anandamide molecule circulating in her body. And then the CBD supports that, her anandamide molecule circulating in her body because of all of the things she's doing in the daytime. So she didn't need as much THC until the evening. And so now, I love that explanation. Now that things are shifting, the seasons are changing, you're paying attention to your body. And that's what we're here to teach you as nurses, is to listen to the inside. What is your mind, your body, and your spirit telling you? Mm-hmm. And you do have the tools. We are here to give you the tools to be able to start listening to your body, paying attention, trying things, and working through. So it's awesome. I love that. And I'm going to say too, Carrie Lee, that I'm the same way. I need a one-to-one as well. Like this morning, like I do, same. I balance it out. I need THC, but I also need CBD in the morning. And my one-to-one is pretty much throughout the entire day, most of the day. And then I amp up the THC in the evening. Wind down the night with a little. And
the THC at night for me is really about sinking in and ending the day and allowing my body and my mind to calm down so that I can actually fall asleep and stay asleep. It also quells nightmares. So, I love plant medicine. God, we are so lucky we do what we do, aren't we?
Really, really love
Gratitude attitude. Oh,
gratitude
man.
attitude. So this was
Yeah.
great. So start the day off with the daily love, which was great. I love the reading. Absolutely amazing. What are we surrendering to today?
Setting limits, boundaries.
Yeah. Yes. Say yes to me. I say yes to me so I can say yes to you when it's appropriate. Right? There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. So here we are. History. We've got a few more minutes and we're just going to pile through. This is great.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday, Hugs and Nugs of History. We've been going through various different timelines and talking about cannabis. And so I thought we would review again. I'm going to put my glasses on here. 1988, we're going to talk about the Cb1 receptor and the molecule anandamide that mimics the THC molecule that we make in our body. So Carrie Lee was in 8th grade in 1988 when, yeah, I know, it's so great. When the Cb1 receptor was found, it was really interesting how it was discovered. And the St. Louis University Medical School professor Alan Howlett and grad student William Devane discovered the Cb1 receptor. So they determined that rat's brain has a receptor sites embedded in the cell membranes. And then they discovered too that the Cb1 is abundant in mammals more than any other G protein coupled receptor, meaning that it's one of the endocannabinoid system is the largest neurotransmitter signaling system in our body. All animals with a spinal cord have Cb1 receptors, and Cb1 signaling would prove to be critical for regulating numerous physiological processes, including the body's stress response and how we experience pain. So basically, this was in 1988. I graduated from nursing school in 1988, and Carrie Lee was in 8th grade. And so here we go. We have found actual science that we create. We have an endocannabinoid system, not because of the cannabis plant, but because we create components in our body just like the plant. So the floodgates open. Why do we have receptors that are capable of responding to plant cannabinoids such as THC? So scientists realized that there had to be endogenous, meaning something that we make in our body. THC-like compounds are inner cannabis, as to speak, that's signaled through these receptors. And so the search was on for that internal component. And then in 1992, Carrie Lee, what did they discover?
They discovered anandamide, the bliss molecule. Oh my gosh, the first endogenous cannabinoid neurotransmitter identified by scientists. By the way, a neurotransmitter is a chemical that nerve cells use to send signals to other neurons. So, wow. I mean, I graduated in 1992. So it took from 8th grade to senior year to find.
Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy. Cool. And I had no idea this was even going on in those time frames. I was just enjoying the beauty of the plant.
Oh, God. And I graduated from nursing school in 1988, and the endocannabinoid system never came up ever.
That's a travesty. That's a travesty, isn't it? Same here for me. I had no idea. They never talked about it in nursing school.
But thank goodness for Dr. Raphael Mechoulam, William Devane, and Lumir Hannes. They're researchers at Hebrew University in Jerusalem. They isolated the novel lipid neurotransmitter that binds with the Cb1 receptors in pig brain tissue. And they called it anandamide. And the anandamide is the Sanskrit word for bliss. And that word suggests its mood-altering effects. So anandamide and THC, with a similar molecular structure, they behave the same way when they bind to CB1. So when I do a lot of my presentations, I show up this big giant slide that shows the THC molecule, that shows the anandamide molecule, and how they're very similarly shaped, and showing a nerve cell and how, the print, the key, the lock.
The lock and the key. Boop. Yeah.
So cool. So they have the same molecular structure. They behave the same way. But the difference is the anandamide molecule is 1/10 the strength of the THC molecule. Or another way of saying that is the THC molecule is 10 times stronger than the anandamide molecule. So it makes sense that you wouldn't need a lot, because we're producing internal endogenous cannabinoids all throughout the day. And the goal of cannabinoid therapeutics is to mimic our body and what it needs to keep it
to
Like,
use the least amount needed to reach that therapeutic. And you know what? That was one of the most mind-blowing, fascinating things for me learning about this discovery, because, you know, I come from this, from the recreational side. That's how I was introduced to the plant. So to learn the medicinal properties of this and learn that I don't have to smoke as much to reap the reward. I mean, you know, it was a little difficult to get used to, but once I really started incorporating that and realizing, wow, this is even better. I feel even better using less. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's cost effective too. Who doesn't like a little more cash in their pocket, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Last longer. So
yeah, I love that. And so, you know, cells create the anandamine upon demand. So we talk about that whenever our bodies need to stay even keel during stressful circumstances. So just imagine the umbrella. When we talk about the endocannabinoid system, I'll do a quick review. You know, a lot of people I had a hard time conceptualizing it. And I was like, where is it? Where is it located? You know, what part of the, so it's like, oh, it's the whole. It encompasses the whole. It is the umbrella. The endocannabinoid system is the umbrella. The umbrella is actually our body. And the different spokes of the umbrella are your different organ systems. You know, central nervous system, cardiovascular, respiratory, gastrointestinal, integumentary, reproductive system, immune system. And then you have all of the neurotransmitter signaling systems. So the spokes of the umbrella are your organ systems. The fabric that surrounds the umbrella are those messenger signaling systems. The endocannabinoid system blankets on top of the entire umbrella. Because we have cannabinoid receptors, like we just talked about, on all of the cell surfaces of our different organ systems and at all of the neurotransmitter signaling junction sites. So we produce anandamine 2-AG upon demand to shower on our umbrella, depending upon what's going on our umbrella. And it's happening all at the same time. So that term pleiotropic means that this plant is working on multiple different systems, multiple different physiological systems, all happening at the exact same time. It's just like an orchestra, right?
it is. It is. It's beautiful, beautiful music, darling.
Yeah. So getting back to history really quickly. So 1992, anandamine was identified by scientists. And then over time, subsequent studies showed that physical exercise, and we've talked about this before, boosts anandamine levels, resulting in that runner's high. By binding to Cb1 receptors in the brain, anandamine protects neurons, facilitates neurogenesis, and creates new brain cells in adult mammals. So every animal with a nervous system produces anandamine. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It's huge. I
great.
love the runner's high. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
When I get done with my skating sessions, it's just like, oh my God, it feels
All right.
so good. I'm like, whoop. Sorry.
So this is Throwback Thursday. Let's just review the daily 5 to thrive.
Okay, really quickly.
One.
So sleep hygiene, plant-based nutrition, hydration, moving your ass every day, but make sure it's something that you love doing. Spirituality, stress reduction with mindfulness, meditation, gratitude journaling, getting outside, getting sunshine, access to sunshine, or supplementing with vitamin D. High five. Boop.
That's it. Thank you, Carrie Lee. That was awesome. And that's what we want you to remember. Daily 5. You just got to look at your hand and go, yep, I got 5 things to do today.
Here we go. Boop, 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 boop.
Here you go. Absolutely. So listen, we all hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you for joining us. And if we haven't told you before, we have an awesome community. I think I talk about it all the time.
Look at everybody. We love you guys.
If I haven't told you lately, come join us in the community, the holistic, caring, green nurse community. We will continue to bring you hope, inspiration for growth and healing, free cannabis education, free cannabis course, support group, patient portal, and book club. So thank you guys for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow. And Carrie Lee, what's it all about?
It's all about living your best life and showing others how to do the same.
There you go. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.